Beer. Mistake. Should have. He's been doing a lot of explaining. Out of trouble.
Something about reading it in a textbook just didn't mean a whole lot, but.
State law requires this body to announce at this time that a copy of the current Open Meetings Act is available at the back of the room where it is accessible to the public. Weiss.
Here.
Sisson.
Here.
McDermott.
Here.
Gibbon.
Here.
Harrington.
Here.
Euchre.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Thank you. If you can all stand, please, for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Good to have you here tonight. Item 1, consent agenda. Approve this agenda, pay the claims as submitted. C, approve the treasurer's report for August 2021. Approve the minutes of September 7th, 2021 regular council meeting with, I think, Dale Harrington had some corrections on the minutes.
He did. He called me today. On page 3, in the last line of the preceding paragraph, we actually abstained, so it says abstaining Harrington now. And then on the second full paragraph, in the 4th sentence, the second vote by Councilmember McDermott, not by Harrington. And those changes have been made.
Need a motion to approve with those corrections.
I make the motion to approve.
Ben Johnson,
I'll say.
Nick Smith, seconds.
Smith.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Gibbon.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Euchre.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 2, approve the minutes of the September 13th, 2021 special council meeting. No corrections.
So moved.
Mike Sisson makes a motion.
Second.
Dale Gibby, second.
McDermott.
Yes.
Gibbon.
Yes.
Harrington.
Abstain.
Euchre.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Smith.
Abstain.
Weiss.
Yes.
Motion carried. Item 3, approve the minutes of the September 14th, 2021 special council meeting.
So moved.
Trent Euchre,
Second.
second by Ben Johnson.
Johnson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
McDermott.
Abstain.
Gibbon.
Yes.
Harrington.
Abstain.
And Euchre.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. It is now time for public forum. If anybody in the audience has something that is not on the agenda to put before the council, please approach the table. Mention your name.
My name's Jess Lammers, and I emailed the clerk pursuant to statute to withdraw the claim that I had presented on February 2nd of 2021 pursuant to how I was treated by all the law enforcement officials involved in the Phelps County Jail. So pursuant to statute, I am notifying you in writing that I'm withdrawing my claim, and I will file that in the appropriate court because the council did not take action within the 6 months provided by statute pursuant to the Political Subdivisions Tort Claims Act. If anyone would like to make a comment or ask for more time to get an attorney or not go to court, now is that time.
Thank you.
Now,
Everybody gets a copy?
Obviously, I believe, and your attorney, Ms. Nelson, can correct me if I'm wrong, she might be precluded from acting as your attorney in this action because she's a witness against me in felony case CR 2032, which doesn't get dismissed until, I believe, October 12th. So you would have to hire a special attorney such as the county did with Ms. Brandy Johnson. In any event, if you want more time, now's the time to ask for it. If you just want to play in court, I'm totally okay with playing in court.
Thank you, Mr. Lammers.
Have a nice day.
Plan on it. You too. Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else for the public forum? If not, I will close the public forum. Item 5, consider funding request from the Holdrege Chamber of Commerce. Please approach the table.
Thank you. I'm Lori Larson, the director of the Holdrege Chamber of Commerce. Should I speak? Okay. I mailed a letter to Mary McGill on August 30th, but I brought an extra copy of the letter.
I think we all have
Jeff got it.
Lori.
Nice. Sorry, Trees.
Our office is pretty efficient.
Yeah, I'm a rookie, so I didn't know how it worked. So I've been the chamber director since July, and one thing that I came across was that we missed a deadline to request funding. So I hope that I have this correct. It's confusing with the timeline, but I've worked with Ms. McGill quite a bit and talked with a few council people here and Mr. Jensen and Mr. Rector. So what I believe happened is that the city has supported the chamber over the past few years, but we missed, I think because of COVID, we were very busy trying to keep up like everyone else. We missed a deadline to request the funds, and so when our request came in, it was from the wrong fiscal year. So part of this letter is we're asking for this is the next request for funds, but we'd also like to see if we could have the year that kind of got skipped, for lack of a better way of presenting it.
There's 2 things that need to happen for you to get the money.
Mm-hmm.
For one thing, it needs to be budgeted.
Right.
The other thing, you have to request that to come out of our pocket.
Yes. Yes.
It was budgeted, but you didn't know the timing, it wasn't requested to
Yes,
allocate that $10,000.
that was the former director, and I think her request came on December 30th, 2020. So part of this letter that you have in front of me is I'm asking for the next 10,000, but then I wish it was like a really nice line that I could explain this. So we're also trying to catch up.
Mary, is that an issue to?
Oh, I didn't know your face.
That's fine. No, what happened was it just came in too late to make the fiscal year September 30th of 20. The $10,000 was budgeted, but it was never requested, so it was never paid. And so when the request came in, we paid it January 5th of 21. So that's showing that we paid it in this fiscal year. So nothing was paid last fiscal year, even though it was budgeted. That money would be in the cash balance. So if you go ahead and approve it tonight, that line item would go over budget, but last year it was under budget, so.
She's very eloquent, isn't she? Yeah.
it's
That's what I meant
your
to say.
decision on it.
So it is money we had previously set aside.
Right. It
They just
just,
didn't request it in time, so it came out the next fiscal,
Right.
so it,
so you're gonna have none coming out of last year, two coming out of this year.
so if we were saying to ourselves that we're giving the chamber $10,000 a year like we always have, then the thing to do tonight would be to ask Mary to give them the 20 this year,
That's-
But you-
my understanding
Is that gonna be a
correctly.
problem?
It's already budgeted, so. It's there.
Well, since you're new,
Yes, thank you.
Don't let it happen again, you're saying?
Yes, no, it's on the calendar, and it's on the, this is what we do every month, and, one of my internal goals, it's not necessarily something I'm gonna get on the radio station for, is just really solid best practices so that we're consistent every year, and let's make the list, so, yeah.
The way that played out, Lori, this year, and our city crew has helped a lot on different parades and different,
Yes.
so it was an in-kind payment?
No.
I thought I'd see if anybody would buy that. No, no, the city has helped the chamber in a lot of issues, but that's something that we do on top of the $10,000 budgeting.
Yeah,
So,
and the chamber's here for the city, I mean, we're here to make Holdrege a diamond, so, it's a diamond, just keep it polished.
we have a motion or any more discussion?
is it just consider or we vote on?
We probably need a motion on that.
So moved,
I'll second. To pay the 20,000.
yes, so moved to make it up, pay the 20.
Mary McDermott moved, Corey Weiss second.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Huker,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
So maybe come see us next, like, early August. I mean, come see us before that, you know, with updates and whatever, but we finalize the budget usually in early September.
Will do, it is on the calendar. I brought cards if anybody wants to try to get in touch with me.
Can I just pass those around?
Absolutely. Thanks for coming out tonight.
My pleasure.
Oh, look at that, get out of trouble free.
Do you need mine?
Better give him two.
Are these chamber bucks?
No, make sure those are the right color if they are.
$50 in chamber tax, right there.
Thanks, Ms. Larson. Item 6, approve the fire department's fire prevention week activities and parade route for October 7th, 2021.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Greg Erickson. I'm chairman of our Fire Prevention Committee for the Holdrege Volunteer Fire Department. Fire Prevention Week is October 3rd through the 9th. During this week, we emphasize fire prevention and raise an awareness of preventing fires because in addition to saving lives and property, the less fires we go to, the less time we spend away from our homes and jobs as volunteers, and the less money it costs the city to operate the department. We will be visiting Holdrege preschools and elementary schools during the week, and we'll be talking to over 530 children about not playing with fire and what to do in case they have a fire in their home. After not having one last year due to COVID, we're going to host our annual open house at the fire station on Thursday, October 7th, with a hamburger and hot dog feed starting at 5 o'clock. People will be able to see our fire engines and equipment up close, and we'll have activities for people of all ages and handouts promoting fire prevention and fire safety. We will also hold our annual parade of fire engines starting at 6:30 that will include the middle school marching band this year. The parade will start at 7th and West Avenue, go south to 5th Avenue, then east to the fire station. We are requesting traffic control at 5th and West Avenue and 5th and East Avenue. We also ask permission to close 5th Avenue from the alley to Garfield Street in front of the fire station to park fire engines for viewing by the public and any other activities from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we also request the use of 6 picnic tables for the hamburger feed. And we would like to invite Mayor Young, all city council members, and city administration to attend the open house. Thank you.
Burgers are normally pretty good.
Yes, they are. You definitely get fed.
Yep.
I do.
Any questions with closing street, parade route? Good to have the middle school.
And where we do close it, it still leaves the drive for the mailbox, so people can go through and then go back down the alley, so we're not closing
Making an
that
illegal
off.
U-turn.
Or down the alley.
Good, covered. Wait a
This is pretty close to what you've done before.
This is pretty much what we've done for the last, probably,
Years and years.
yeah, for about 20 years probably.
Yep.
So.
You're not gonna have a ping pong ball drop or?
No, we thought about it, but what we do with that is we put snow fence up and you get a bunch of little kids in a big pile, in a big group, and we decided maybe this year wasn't the year to do that yet,
Yeah,
so. we're
everybody's
gonna-
so close and
Yeah,
stuff.
so we're gonna skip that.
I did hear that Greg was gonna be part of the dunking station.
I don't think so.
Any concerns, questions?
I'll second it.
Who made the motion? Mike Sisson, Dale Harrington seconds.
McDermott,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Bucher,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Thank you. Stick around for the next item.
Okay.
Discussion
Thank
of
you.
protocol for emergency siren activation. I've put this up for discussion tonight. It used to be, I remember when the sirens went off 50 years ago, 50, whatever, when I was younger, that's the way they notified the firemen. We got a fire call, we got a rescue call. Everybody rush down here, jump on the unit, fire trucks or whatever. This day and age, they have pagers, they have their phones go off, so they have that way of notifying the firemen that we're needed, the community needs you. You guys are our heroes, but my question is, do we need the sirens going off up to 9 o'clock at night? We've got day sleepers. You know, the sirens go off. We got one siren across the alley from the Catholic school. I'm sure that disrupts them. You know, another thing, right now, the unit from Phillips Memorial is being used during the daytime when they're available. They do not request the sirens be blowing. They just, on their ambulances, they have these red and blue lights that let people know. They have loud sirens that let people know we're coming, get out of our way. I just want to throw this up for discussion.
I think it'd be, it wouldn't be too bad if we just changed it to first of the month for testing, and then maybe like emergency situations like tornadoes still.
When the siren does blow, it's gonna mean there's an emergency. We got a tornado coming or something.
And that way people get more used to it, knowing they need to take shelter when they hear the siren, as opposed
Instead
to
of-
first Saturday.
It is,
Siren,
it
go.
is an emergency alert system, so it could be something like an industrial disaster, it could be the tornado, it could be, you know, anything like that is where it would go off. So, I mean, we're not saying don't utilize it, we're just saying we don't necessarily need it anymore for our emergency
call
units
our-
for calls.
Our heroes.
Right.
We,
Maybe one even, maybe talk to the fire department guys too.
I'd like to throw this out and maybe discuss this in a month.
Yeah.
Give people, the council,
The public's
to get,
I've had a lot of feedback, like there's people in my neighborhood, like by the Catholic Church, that have specifically asked me, please, can you stop? And it's day sleepers, just like you said, so if, I mean, obviously, we've known for years we don't need it to notify, you know, the fire EMS. I was thinking the other half of it was to let the public know to watch out, cause all those pickups with the fire department emblem on the back are gonna be flying towards downtown, and if you're downtown, watch out.
The problem that raises is that they're not emergency vehicles, so they cannot break the law in any way, shape, or form while responding to the fire call. And with the way liability is in the state, if they were to cause an accident, you're talking about huge liability. A lot of people don't know what the siren means. Like, all the time I get people asking, what's the siren for? And it's people who live here. They're like, why are the sirens going off all the time? I think things have just changed a lot, especially when you're talking about liability. And I know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure Dallas talks to you, you know, you guys have that conversation too about, you know, watching out for everybody, because they don't know who you are when you're responding to a call. So, I mean, it's
And
not,
our protocol is like you say, we're to obey all speed limits, all signs, stop signs.
it's just, the liability's too great, especially when you're not in an emergency vehicle responding. So,
I'd say if it's okay with you, and it's okay with the fire department, I think it should be reserved for
just emergency
emergencies,
events.
yeah.
Sometimes the siren blows, okay, let's get in our vehicles, let's go see where they're going.
And honestly, we get a ton of phone calls in dispatch
Really?
when it goes off. Like,
Really?
I say a ton, it's like several a week. Like, what was that call for? You know?
Oh, yeah,
And it's like,
Well-
I mean, it comes in and it's like, we're busy right now, that's what it's for.
Do we need to wait a month, or do we wanna go ahead and,
I say wait.
or you wanna put it on for the next meeting, it's, get to take 2 weeks for the
Let's
meeting?
give it some time,
Okay.
we're no hurry,
Okay.
we're no hurry, let's get the public input. If there's something that I'm not thinking of, we're not thinking of,
I'd like the fire department's input.
May I,
Ms. Larson?
may I say something? Do you want me to come back up?
No, either way, either way.
Being a new resident, I've been visiting Holdrege for several years, but as a new resident, I find it terrifying when those sirens go off, because in my mind, there's a natural disaster happening. And now I hear the siren and I don't pay attention, and my fear is that, because I don't think it's that unusual, I've done some reading on this, because I found it so confusing. I feel like we're conditioning people not to pay attention to a possible, very dangerous situation. And, you know, sometimes you read the news and you're like, why did all these people die? Didn't they know there was a tornado coming? And is it because we've been using a siren for other purposes? So that's a fear I have as a new older citizen.
Our fire trucks, our ambulances, very well marked with lights and sirens, and after everybody gets here, they activate everything, get out of the way, pull over. So I just like reach out to the public and let us get back onto it in another month, maybe. So,
And even if, you know, it's decided we're gonna keep using it, I think we need to lay down a little bit better protocol for it. We were in the middle of a severe thunderstorm warning here a couple weeks ago with thunder and lightning, and we got a unit call, we sounded the siren. Exactly that thing. I know, you know, was that a unit call, or was it, yes, there are different lengths of time that the siren runs for those. But I think if we don't get rid of it altogether for the emergency vehicle response, we need to set down protocol for it's not gonna be used when we're in the middle of a watch or a warning and there's clouds around that look ominous.
yeah.
Something like that. So that's why we wanted to just throw it out
We don't want
and
to
start the discussion.
get used to hollering the wolf too often. So. Any more comments other than that?
Well, I can bring it up to the fire department, we can discuss.
Please do,
it on
Greg.
next meeting and.
Bring it up when I'm not eating my hamburger, would you?
There's a hot dog.
We talked to him about it
talking about this for what, months, 2
Yeah,
months?
him and I had a lengthy conversation.
Are there any other communities that aren't utilizing the sirens anymore?
Kearney doesn't.
County does not.
I was in Alma the other day and I heard it go off for their.
Yeah, almost.
Most small towns do.
Small towns do.
Used to blow at 6 o'clock or, you know, different times,
Noon.
yeah. A lot of small towns do that at noon, it's time to go home, time to eat.
But
6
this-
o'clock,
this
we better
last,
quit playing football, and mom's gonna be looking.
This last Sunday, I was in Arapahoe and they had a grass fire and they didn't blow it.
Okay.
Okay, just keep your eyes open, ask the public, and Greg will talk to the fire department, and we'll have time over a hamburger or hot dog to think about it. Thank you. Open discussion. Chris?
I'll be out the rest of the week for league conference in Lincoln. That's all I've got. We did get all the light poles up at the park, at the baseball field, except for one. We're waiting on a new wiring harness.
Awesome.
And so that will get put up as soon as that new wiring harness comes in, those will all be done. And then we'll start boring in the conduit and full wire.
Bring back a lot of knowledge from the league
See
conference.
what we can do,
Always learn something.
you know?
Dave,
No, thank you.
Chief,
We have started the dispatch upgrade project, so we are moved over into our little conference room inside for dispatch and currently tearing down dispatch, so that is well underway. Looking forward to getting past this month of change to get back into the new center. Pretty exciting.
awesome, thank you. Next. Ben,
Kim, I was just wondering if, did you ever have a timeline for those guys to come back and paint the court?
The company we had backed out on us, and so they, were not going to come this year, because they couldn't schedule it, and plus the lack of paint. So we're trying to get somebody lined up in the spring. Just my pulling teeth.
Okay.
Mr. Puker,
Nothing.
at the far end, Dale,
Why down here?
Corey,
No, sir.
Mike? What? Larry?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Are we coming on 13/17/6? Oh, Jamie Hayes burnout property about 3 years ago.
He called me a couple weeks ago. He's supposed to have a contractor there working. I've not driven by to see if they've made any progress, but
All the windows
phone
are
call
still boarded
a
up.
couple weeks ago was that they were supposed to be working on it.
I think that's one of those guys that we have to keep pushing. Kim?
Nothing, sir.
Brian?
I don't have anything.
Your crew's been busy this week. Ever figure out what that little blink was, 2-second blink was the other day?
There's 2 operations on the breaker. No outages, no permanent outage that we got called out.
It was just a short one. Mary? My turn. Disc golf. We gonna be able to get some new signs for the disc golf?
It should be up.
Can you, like Larry, the cable guy says, get her done?
I thought they were up.
When you say new, you mean like printed or like spray painted?
No,
Just-
we got brand new ones. We had brand new ones, and they were supposed to be up before the,
Have someone check that out?
I'll have Tim check.
I still see the old ones up there.
Okay.
And I'm having people ask me about curb cuts on 14th. I've had several people ask me about that. From the middle school going east, and last couple weeks I've seen, I'm gonna say he's a middle school kid on a wheelchair, riding in the gutter. He's got 3 friends walking with him on the sidewalk, but he's in the gutter. His wheelchair don't go up and down curves very good. I know we used to try to do a few every year, so I don't know if that's a possibility. I know 14th is on 1 and 6 year plan, more like 10 years. But if that's a possibility, we can work in some next year. Community would appreciate it. We're always looking for hike and bike trails. You have to jump the curbs, and there's a lot more people on motorized wheelchairs, it seems like, or scooters going up and down, so just a safety factor. Other than that, this meeting is adjourned.